everyone. So today I'm here to do a basic mascara hack, which is highlight and contour. And today I'm going back to basics. So what does back to basics mean? That means one compact and one brush. I am going to throw in a perfector sponge because I do love using the perfector sponge. But you can do your makeup, your whole foundation routine from just one compact. So all of my foundation is right here. It can go on in single layers. You don't have to layer all different products on to get the look that you want. So I'm going to show you how today. So most people when they first get started, I think they usually start with one brush, and that's exactly what I did. And this is the brush I started with. It is the 30-second hack brush. So you can see this side here is pointed, and that side can really get under the eyes. It's pointy, gets under there. You can use that to put your highlight on. And then this side here, see that it's more dense. That side can be used to put contour. So you can squeeze it like that and try to get a thin line on, or you can just leave it kind of a little bit fluffier like it is. Hi Lou, and just kind of go like that to get a more diffused look. So that's usually what I do when I use this brush. Now I have been growing my brush collection because I just absolutely love mascara brushes, so I haven't used this one in a while, which is why I'm saying I'm gonna go back to basics and give this one a try. So with cream makeup, less is definitely more. You don't need a whole lot. You want the tiniest little bit because if you use too much, it's just gonna get cakey and obvious, and you want it to look natural. You still want it to look like your skin. So I'm gonna start with my main highlight, and you just need one little tap, and then you wanna see how far that goes, and then you can always just do a tiny little tap back in. So I am gonna start in the center of my face and go outwards. You can see I have the most redness in the center of my face. So that's where I'm gonna start here for the most coverage and then blend it out. Start on my chin and blend back towards my ear. And again, I use the pointy end of the brush to do that. I'm gonna get up into the eye area. I have dark circles, so I like to get up there, especially with my mango. Mango's a great color corrector, so that covers my dark circles. I have some redness around the nose, so you want to make sure if you do get into that nose area, that nose crease, the sides of the nose, and you want to make sure that's blended well, because if you have larger pores there, you don't want it kind of just sitting on top. So you do want to make sure you get that in there blended. A little extra on the tops of my cheeks where I have some redness. And again, up into the other eye area, cover those dark circles. And the pointed end of this brush is great. You can see how it's sort of angled as I'm using it, and it gets right up under my eyes, and I can pull it back and clean up my eye makeup for that really sharp edge, which I love. Super clean edge. And I've only used the tiniest little bit, and look how much it's covered. That redness is disappeared. So just the tiniest bit in the forehead. You don't need to go all the way up to the hairline with it. And that's where your contour is gonna go. And mascara contour also has coverage. So that's why you can kind of skip those areas where you're going to put your contour, because that will cover any imperfections you have there. I have a smaller forehead, so I don't need as much, but I do like the dimension it gives, so I do still put my contour up in my forehead area. If you have a larger forehead, you could come down further, kind of give the appearance of a smaller forehead. Just make sure that it's blended well into your hairline. You just don't want to have an obvious mark where you can see your scalp back here and your contour here. You want it all to blend together. So we're gonna go, for me at least, with my face shape, I like to go from the top of the ear towards the corner of my mouth. I have maybe a wider face, kind of a round face, and so I like to go from the top of the ear towards the mouth. I think it just makes it look a little more slim. And I just kind of tap, starting at the back forward, but then I tap back and forth, and then I even brush up just the tiniest little bit. You're not pushing very hard, just kind of skimming over the skin just to blend it. You see the difference from that side to that side. We're giving that appearance of lifted cheekbones. Again, we start at the back, towards the mouth, and then you can even blend in upward motions to soften it and blend it out a little bit. And then any extra, or if you want to add a little extra, you can bring it down under your ear, underneath the jaw. You can put a little extra right here where we get those jowls. Eventually we all get them. Down the chin, that little area here, and just camouflage it. Again, I pull down from the ear, kind of trying to sharpen up that jawline, and then towards the chin, and just a little extra over the jowl area. Kind of just makes them vanish. And if you go up too high, you can just take your brush and just pull down, pull that highlight back into where maybe you have a little too much contour. So until you set your makeup, you can make any corrections you need to. It just all blends together. So that's the beauty of cream makeup. And this side I always seem to get just a little bit darker, so I am gonna add just a touch more here. Okay. You start up at your eyebrow and you would just drag the brush down. If you're not comfortable with this starting out, don't do it. It took me a while to even try it. I'm still learning. I'm not great at it, but I keep getting better and learning little tricks. So if you're not comfortable nose contouring, just skip it. And always make sure just to put a little bit at the tip, brush underneath. I think it's supposed to give your nose a little bit of a lifted appearance. Just don't put too much. Just blend it out a little bit. You can use your finger, the warmth of your finger will also help to blend that a little bit if you got a little too much. And we'll use the Perfector sponge also at the end, so that will help to blend everything together. The final part of the basic hack is going to be the accent brightener. Your accent brightener is going to go into these parts of your face that you want to highlight, that you want people to focus on. So it's going to kind of go almost in a little triangle or even a little rainbow right here on your forehead, where you can see the light is naturally hitting there anyway, so you just want to accentuate that. So right here on the forehead, down the nose, you can even do some on your Cupid's bow, a little bit on your chin, and then you're gonna go up into the eye area and bring some light to the under eye area. So mine, I'm using amber today, and your color is gonna be different, so just make sure that you do get color matched so that your artist can pick the correct colors for you. Again, don't use a whole lot, especially under the eye area. You don't want it to accentuate and settle into any fine lines or wrinkles. So I'm gonna start under the eye with my brightener, and I just go up into the corner. I follow down my nose. It also helps to clean up that nose contour. And then I just gently drag it up towards my hairline, and I like to go up and just clean up my eye makeup. Gives a really nice, clean, sharp edge. And let's see, can you see the difference? How much brighter this side is compared to that side? And you kind of want to go in a triangle under your eye. So go down to the nose and then up towards the hairline. Do that on the other side. Again, cleaning up that eye makeup, giving it a nice sharp edge. And down the nose, you can clean up that nose contour in case it went too far over. You don't want your nose to look wide. The point is to make it look thinner, so just use the point end of your brush to clean that up too. A little bit in the forehead. I'm gonna try to use the point of the brush and see if I can just right down my nose. I just want a very thin line of highlight down your nose. And just blend it back up into the forehead. A touch on the Cupid's bow and the chin. And you can see the brightness that it brings to the face. The next step is optional. You can see you already have a lot of brightness, but sometimes people like just one extra accent brightener just to give a little pop in the corners of the eyes. So that's what I'm gonna do today. You don't have to do this. I just like that little bit of extra brightness. I have dark circles and I just like the look that this gives. So I think I'm gonna go into its aura and just bring some just right in the corner. I'm not gonna do the full triangle with this. I'm just gonna pop it into the corner of my eye and then a little bit on this area. And it just brings a little bit of extra brightness. Do the other eye. Again, just into the corner. And a little bit right here. And we're gonna blend that just to make it look a little more natural. And I think we're gonna do that now. I'm gonna blend with a Perfector sponge just so you can see how that basic hack all comes together. And this takes off just the right amount of makeup. It doesn't take off too much. You don't wanna be pulling, you're just pressing just to take off any excess and to kind of melt all of the colors together. Soften those edges between contour and highlight so it looks really natural. And I kind of like to start in the highlight areas first. Under my eyes. Definitely want to get under the eyes because if you do have any fine lines or wrinkles, you don't want any excess makeup under there. So just make sure that you're perfecting really well. You want to perfect your nose contour. You do want to look at it from the side and make sure there's no harsh lines. Get around those nose creases. And just blend everything together. And then I do like to set under my eyes with just a little bit of powder. I just feel like, for me, it smooths everything and makes it look really natural. So right now I use Perfect Peach Setting Powder from Too Faced, and the color is Translucent Peach Whisper, and that's just my favorite at the moment. It's finely milled, it smells really good, and it just seems to keep everything in place all day without settling into my lines. But you can use whatever your favorite is. Just make sure not to use too much, because if you over powder, then you're again gonna accentuate lines. So I just want enough to kind of keep it in place and soften it without accentuating those lines. So just the tiniest little bit on my sponge. I get right up into the eye area. Just bring it down just a little bit to my nose, and then whatever's left over, I pull out to the corner. And I don't know if you can tell the difference, but I feel like this eye just looks more uniform and smooth, where this one, I feel like the highlighter is a little more obvious, at least on me. So that again is just personal choice. Everybody's different, their skin, their face shape. So if you do need to use some powder under your eyes, go ahead and set, just don't use too much. And if you need to set anywhere else with powder, that'll keep it in place all day. I like to use our Stay Spray. I think that just gives you a more dewy look, which I do like everywhere else, and that also just keeps your makeup from moving around, keeps it set all day long. And so I hope you enjoyed this basic hack. If you have any questions or if you do want a color match, please click my link in bio, and I hope you enjoyed the basic hack with me today. So one compact, one brush, it's truly all you need for your foundation. All right, thanks for joining me, guys.